The Type 62 is a very interesting tank. It has a lot as a jack of all trades, but it's not necessarily bad at stuff. For example, it has a very good view range. It's top in class. I believe it's even better than the Centurion 1, which is no, actually it's around the same, which is a tier above. Now, this means that you'll be able to have very aggressive games where you are the spotter. So if you're playing with a Type 62 or you decide to buy it, you are going to be having to play it as a spotter. For example, here I did make some mistakes. Actually, you're going to see a lot of mistakes that I made with this tank. But because of I would say how versatile the tank is, I'm able to make up for it. But again, this tank itself has a very low margin for error because of how squishable it is, but it compensates for it in many of the factors. Like I said, you are able to play this tank at range because of how good the spawning range is. So at certain maps, for example, if you have a flat land and you can go out there, take a quick peek and go back, even if any opponent is a tier higher than you are gonna bring advantage to your team just because of the view range advantage. That's what I'll call it. And now if you just sneak in, sneak out, and you reset your camera and keep doing it again, that's a huge advantage. And that's one of the highlighting factors of this stack. Of course, there's many more. For example, damage it does, which is quite amazing. But the alpha has no complaints. For example, with the playstyle that the tank has, the alpha is just perfect. You're able to dish out shots, and again, if you use the view range advantage to your benefit, if you take your time, if you think about it, and you combine it with the high DPM of this tank, you can play very well. Like for example, in this case, the IS hasn't even spotted me, and he won't spot me because it's a low profile tank. It's a very small tank with a good view range. It's very difficult to spot unless you're playing against a medium that can compete with you. Even if you're in tier above, if you're playing with tanks tier above you, you are still able to perform well. Now the second thing is, because the tank has a very high DPM, people, you can sort of mix the speed and the high DPM to dictate the map. So for example here, I saw that my team wasn't pushing, but I saw a gap within the enemies because I saw it was split. I knew that if I pushed them and my teammates would push with me, I can get an advantage. Of course, I didn't like the Black Prince because Black Prince could actually kick my ass with the DPM. Black Prince is very high in DPM, even better than the Type 62 as far as I know. But the very fact that I'm confidently pushing, my team is able to help me push and just take out the opponents. Now the Black Prince, again, people are ignoring it. He has good armor, he has good everything, but there is the third thing that's good about this tank, which is the heat shells. And at a certain point, I believe it was 2017, 2018, this tank was considered to be heat 62 because the penetration with the premium shells was so good. I don't think there was a single tank that couldn't penetrate. Now, I'm not quite certain, but if it can penetrate Black Prince, quite good. Again, you are not gonna have troubles with the penetration. If you run, let's say, 60% normal AP shells and 20%, or 30% on heat, you are going to do well just because of the way the tank runs. You're not gonna have any problems, especially considering this tank is a brawler. It is very good at taking one-on-one situations and actually winning, even if it's a tier above. It is very good at fighting tanks or medium tanks at its level. Of course, it would lose to something like AMX CDC or the FCT, but if you're fighting medium tanks or heavy tanks that have low DPM, uh, even if they have high shot or high shot damage per round, you still sort of have a good advantage over them in a sense that you have speed, you have DPM, and you have low profile, which if you combine everything together, you sort of become this monster that can really brawl with tanks above your punch level, and you can punch above your weight basically. And you do get punished with this tank a lot if you don't take care of the situation within the map. And let's say if you rush out if you play carelessly with this tank, you're gonna lose a lot of health. Again, this tank is extremely squishy, it is low HP, and its armor is practically no existent. It doesn't have any armor at this point. So if you see here, I tried to play with the view range, and I picked out the opponents, but the moment I realized and tried to go back, it's already too late. I lost most of my health. And this is the reason why the tank is very punishing, because if I played in any other tank, let's say if I play with IS-4, IS-7, okay, they're higher level, but if I play with Tiger 1 or Tiger P, I would have a lot of health to compensate for it. I'll have good armor and I might have bounced some of the shots. But since I'm playing at Type 62, I can't do that. And the next shot within this game is going to kill me. And there's nothing I can do about it. I made a mistake and I got punished for it. So no matter what I do now, even if I take these easy shots or quick peekabooms, I am still going to lose this game. Simply because there's nothing else to do. But I got lucky here that the camera was kind of clueless, but yeah, it's well deserved. I messed up. And the other thing that's kind of bad about this tank is it has a low profile. Again, it's very easy to bully, and you're gonna see why. You don't have much going for it if you are playing in game modes. You're gonna get squished, and there's nothing in this world that you can do about it. So look at this. The black hole goes over, and the big boss in this game mode is below me, and I can't move. It's not that I'm not moving, I just can't move. I'm going left, right, straight, down, or anywhere, and it just doesn't work because this tank is such a small profile tank. There's nothing I can do. I'm just a hopeless small being. And if you think you can run with this tank, maybe you can. If you're playing against lightly armored tanks, if you're playing against Scorpion, if you're playing SU-130G, you can, but every single other tank is gonna wreck your ass if they ram you. Now, I wasn't going to run the ET-15. I wasn't going, even though it looks like it, I wasn't going to. But again, the low profile is very punishing, especially here. You're gonna notice that I get tossed around very easily. I actually died there because there was nothing else to do. I got pushed away, and I think I died from the falling damage. But in general, if you consider everything, all the factors that has gone for it, it has a high win rate with people that play it. It has a good credit coefficiency. It has a good damage ratio. So people that play this tank actually win more game than they lose. Sorry, and they do more damage than they take damage, which is a good overall factor or a good overall statistics. And this is according to BlitzStars. And the credit coefficient is pretty high. It's 164%. That means you can dish out many games. So, for example, when you have many game modes, when there is, or you just want to save up credits in this tank, you can just play many games because it's fast, it's reliable, it's consistent. And if you keep playing games, you are going to get a lot of credits out of it, and you're going to improve your win rate once you get used to it. You might not be able to play this tank again. It's kind of odd. It looks like a T-62, which is a tier 10, but it's the opposite. It doesn't have any armor. So you need to get used to it, but once you do get used to it, you can get a lot of this tank. So is the tank worth it at the end? I would say yes. And if I had, let's say, 5,000 gold to decide, and this was in auction, this was just recently in auction. If I had 5,000 gold, it was less in auction. If I had 5,000 gold to decide, I would buy this tank in a blink of an eye. Just on its credit coefficiency alone, it's not as good as, for example, lower, or it's not as good as the T-34, but what it brings to the table is fun and speed. And the one thing about these heavy tanks that are really good at earning credits, this tank, on the other hand, yes, it does not bring it to the same level. I think it's like 12% down. But what this tank does bring is fun games. And when you need to grind an event, when you need to earn a lot of credits, this is the tank I'll go to because it's just fun. I can just go play a game and, well, come back to it. Whereas compared to a heavier tank, it's just slow. Yes, it is fun to play. Yes, I'll have very high damage games. Yes, I should have higher win rate with those tanks. But I would still rather play the Type 62, sorry. And the main reason being, it's not just fun, it's perfect for it.